Hey everyone, it's Tiffany and welcome to October 2023. This is your astrology forecast. I'm going to start with a little numerology and talk about the big significant astrology shifts that are happening in October and end with a little card reading. So the first thing to know is that October, the numerology shifts and it always lines up with the frequency of the planetary shifts too. So what's going on in October is that we're moving from a 7-month into an 8-month. So October is an 8-month in a 7-year. This is very similar energy to January of 2023. And it's also a preview of the energy for 2024. Okay. So the 8-month, if you think about the figure 8 and the cycles and the big ups and downs, and what goes up must come down and what goes down must come up too. I love the symbology of the figure 8, especially in the beehive. It's a very cosmic, spiritual symbol, the figure 8, the sign of infinity, that life goes on, right? At the beehive, the bees will take their orientation flights to establish kind of where they are and where the flowers are and all of that. And as they go out, they make a figure 8 symbol. And so you can use this in the month of October to reorient yourself to something bigger, something vast, something huge and expansive. The numerology can help you feel like you're all in, like it's time to roll the dice on you, right? And it's in a 7-year. So this element of your spiritual quest, to go all in on you during your spiritual quest year. So what's going on in the astrology? Mercury is going to enter Libra from October 4th through 22nd. So most of the month, the planet Mercury, which governs the way that we think, our learning styles, how we convey messages, how we transmit information, the types of classes that we're interested in, how we want to exchange information with other people and data. That's Mercury, right? Our brains, our computers. Mercury, that planet, is going to be in the sign of Libra, the sign of balance and reciprocity and give and take, the sign of partnerships, the sign of truth and justice. So I feel as though, the astrology is really influencing the way we think to be more balanced. It's a great window of time to be doing a relationship inventory, right? How am I in all of my relationships? Because how I am with one is how I am with them all. So if you think about this, for example, let's talk about money, right? Like we like to talk about relationships and money and health when we're doing these readings. But when we're thinking about money, okay, how you behave with your own finances, your own behavior with your finances is a direct reflection of actually all your relationships. So how are you? Do you take regular care of your finances? Do you hand it off for somebody else to deal with and don't want to look at it? Do you know what's coming in and what's coming out? Are you able to be in your own truth, your own honesty, your own integrity with the way that you spend money, the way that you treat money, right? Do you wad up your money and fold it up and put it in the bottom of the bag? Do you have things neatly organized, right? Are the bills facing the same way? These behaviors actually have a lot to do with how you are in relationships too. So looking at yourself in relationship, how do I treat other people? What's it like to be on the other side of me? What is right relationship for me, right? From the inside out. So let there be peace. Let it begin with me. Let it begin with my mind. Mercury in Libra, a balanced mind. Okay, so let's also look at October 8th. So the first week of October, right? There's some ups and downs. There's some normal ebbs and flows of life, but it's going to be in this crescendo phase, and on the 8th it will release. So Mars square Pluto is a bit of a gong crash in the skies. Mars is the planet that influences our energy, our drive, our passion, where we want to go forward, where we've got our foot on the gas, right? I have Mars in my first house. I like to go. I like to get up in the morning. I like to get a lot done, right? I have a lot of energy. That's Mars. And it's in a challenging position to Pluto, right? That planet of deep personal transformation and understanding of the human psyche and understanding of the deep mysteries of the world, right? It's in a challenging position to that planet. So I feel like some of us are having that breakdown to break through. I think that we will probably see some knee-jerk reactions. We will probably, for those that are accident prone, just be careful that first week. You just want to take safety precautions because Mars likes to go quickly and Pluto is about big transformative change, and they're in a challenging position to each other. So if you run up against some personalities that won't take no for an answer, just don't be surprised, right? Be ready to go with the flow. Be ready to be adaptable. Be ready to make sudden changes and to be at peace within yourself, right? As quickly as possible. Let's look at Venus. Venus is going to enter Virgo from October 8th through November 8th. So all month long, Venus, the goddess of love and our values and where we find luxury and beauty and this like sensuality with Venus, is in the sign of Virgo, which is very detail oriented. Virgo helps us understand things about our health, our routines, the data of our life, how we organize our life. And so Venus in Virgo is a great time to do a little refresh around your home or your home office or your wardrobe, your appearance, right? Just fine tuning and tweaking some things with the way that you shine out there in the world, the way that you connect with other people. Again, that idea of doing a relationship inventory. Who am I in right relationship with? What are the areas that I can improve so that I can be more loving towards myself and others? Things like this. When you're in doubt in the month of October, remember Venus and Virgo and think what feels most loving for all involved? What feels most caring for all involved? So affection, attention, it's the little things with Virgo. It's the little things that matter. So, like you can write your roommates, your husbands and wives, your kids, your parents, you can write little cards, little love notes, leave them around the house. You can leave a heart-shaped rock for them on their desk. You can do little things and just change somebody's whole day. And you can do the little things for yourself too. Pluto is going to go direct in Capricorn on October 11th. Pluto has kind of been dancing in between Capricorn and Aquarius, and so we're still in that rocky stage. When an outer planet like Pluto goes direct, it's a very different feeling than when an inner planet goes direct. So we think about Mercury or Venus or Mars retrograde and direct, and we get all worked up about it because we know that something's being renegotiated or we need to reshuffle the deck in some way. It's not the same vibe when an outer planet goes retrograde or direct. An outer planet are the slower moving planets, right? Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So when Pluto goes direct, there can be a slowness to the skies. There can be a little bit of lethargy. You might notice you're a little bit more tired. It will be depending on how it hits your chart personally, right? But the overall weather is a little slower around that time. So Pluto direct in Capricorn on October 11th, it will re-enter Aquarius on January 21st of 2024 of next year. So we're kind of hanging out in that vibe. So what is that vibe? Pluto in Capricorn, it's this reformation period, this new understanding of ways to handle Capricorn things. So redemption, rejuvenation, and evolvement with Capricorn things, our ambitions, our businesses, our government as a whole. So this larger outer planet has more to do with how we act collectively and how we're thinking collectively. We are re-envisioning the divine masculine with Capricorn. We will be re-envisioning the divine feminine with Aquarius. There's a lot of healing to do on both sides. And October has a lot of Libra in the skies, right? So a lot of this balancing will come from that inner level and interweaving the divine masculine and feminine within each of us, right? In a way that feels beautiful and good, and it's possible. So don't believe what they say about Pluto. I love Pluto. Mars is going to enter Scorpio on October 12th, all the way through November 24th. Okay, so Mars loves to be in Scorpio. Mars is in Scorpio is dramatic and fierce and strong and sensual and powerful, right? All of the planets and signs have this spectrum or wave of positive and somewhat negative, right, qualities or traits, and how they express in your world, in your vision, in your line of sight has everything to do with what's going on with you on the inside. So when you squeeze an orange juice comes out. When Mars enters Scorpio, who knows what's going to come out of you, whatever you've been putting in. So I would say if you're doing your spiritual practices, you're filling your cup, you're meditating, you're listening to that beautiful music that keeps you in the flow of life, right? You're not overworking, you're not oversleeping, you're just in that right balance. You're getting into the Libra vibes. You're going to be fine with this. But if you have some anger, if you have some stuff that you've stuffed down and it's creeping up on you, October is probably a month where it's not going to hide in your subconscious or your 12th house anymore. You're probably going to see it start to creep out in ways, right? And so we don't want that to creep out in ways with our physical health or our mental, emotional health. And so we want to be journaling. We want to use the healing powers of journaling, getting things out of our mind onto paper, assessing them, reviewing them, connecting with our healers and our mentors in ways that we need to, that we all need to. So the negative side of that could be jealousy, revenge. So you want to not guard yourself or brace yourself against that stuff. You want to be aware of how you're thinking and say, isn't that curious, Mindy? I call my mind Mindy. I don't need that thought today, Mindy. I'm going to let that one float on by. So everything, all of the influences of the skies are just an opportunity for you to help polish the mirror of your own heart. On the 14th, we're going to have an eclipse. So October 14th, there is an eclipse in 21 degrees of Libra. Here's an intention for you. I enjoy nourishing relationships that feel balanced and mutually supportive. You want to say it with me? I enjoy nourishing relationships that feel balanced and mutually supportive. Okay, so relationships, peace, harmonic exchanges of energy. This phase is representing the subconscious influences that are driving new beginnings forward. So more will be shown over time. There are many things you can say about eclipses, right? You're experiencing 100 hours in a 24-hour time slot. There can be this intensity. The ancients used to use eclipses as a way to predict wars, right? Or to create wars, depending on how you view history. But the idea here is that energy is really, really potent. And it is unpredictable looking at it this way. But it makes so much sense looking back on the timeline. So what you want to do is figure out where 21 degrees of Libra is in your chart. You want to know what house it's in, and then you want to know the flavor of that house to give you an inkling, some insight as to what is being revealed and what is being transformed at a deep and fast and alchemical pace in your life. Very, very potent energy. The Sabian symbol for this eclipse is a child giving birds a drink at a fountain. And I love that. You know, I encourage you to journal with that, draw with it, do some spiritual writing around it. A child giving birds a drink at a fountain. What it makes me think of, one of my favorite authors is Sharon Gannon. And she has this book called, I think it's The Magic 10, I think. Sorry, Sharon, I have it over here somewhere. But the idea is that you get up in the morning and you feed the birds first. Why? Because you're in service first. You're acting of great devotion, right? To the nature kingdom, to the angelic realm, to this beautiful earth where we live. You're in service first, right? And you're making your offering. So the Sabian symbol of this eclipse is a child giving birds a drink at a fountain. To me, it is deep and beautiful and significant. And so not only is it that innocence and youth side, it also brings up that reciprocity side, like I'm going to help you bring life-enhancing water and hydration so that you can go sing out into all of creation and wake the seeds up that want to spring forth with life, right? There's so much cool science about how the birds and their song in the morning, how it activates the plants and the cellular energy in the plants. Okay, different topic. This what's going on with this eclipse is it starts a new 2.5-year cycle for you. All right, for me personally, as an example, 21 degrees of Libra falls in my 11th house. That represents the network, it represents the collective, and it hits my Pluto, the sign of transformation. So I know that part of what's going on for me personally in October is to be with all of you in these transforming conversations, right? These powerful, beautiful, deep conversations about the cosmos in a broad network, in a broad group. Okay, so you could look at that eclipse and how it affects you differently. We can fine tune it and check into the weather on it. This 2.5-year cycle starts on October 14th. It ends January 10th of 2026. And two important markers in this moon family story are going to be July 13th of 2024 and April 13th of 2025. So if you need help with that, I've got a digital astrology calendar, and it marks all of those important dates. I'm happy to give you the links for those. But starting now, on this eclipse, Mercury is going to oppose Chiron too. So it's really going to help you shift gears into that next level thinking, into that more balanced feeling. So if something is felt really, really, really out of balance, the universe will help you break it. Okay. The universe will help you break it and give you that opportunity to set a new foundation, right? Or you could do it consciously. You don't have to wait for something to break. But the idea here is that there's an up-leveling that is healing beyond measure. It's so important to not complain in the month of October. It's so important to take a mental diet away from negativity, especially in October, right? Let your powerful, beautiful mind start to see what feels imbalanced and vision. Use your creative vision to create what would be more in alignment, more in balance. Okay, on the 18th and the 20th, we have a cool cazimi going on. Cazimi is when a planet is in the heart of the sun, the grand central sun. And for us on the 18th, it'll be with the south node, and then on the 20th, it'll be with Mercury. And so I feel like there's going to be a lot of ahas, information wizardry, downloads, insights. Great day to sit with spirit in the morning, have coffee with spirit, get your thoughts out. Great time to develop content, newsletters, map out your courses. Really good time to refine your energy. Thanks, spirit. I wanted to say image, but energy, I guess, is what wanted to come out. And again, this whole vibe of Mercury and the South Node, you're going to have some of those deja vu hits, some of those like, God, I know you from a past life, or, oh, I'm really drawn to work with you for some reason. Those like just interesting connections. You'll notice that a lot of people are in the right place at the right time. So some interesting sacred contracts being discussed here on the physical plane. On the 21st, I want you to be aware that the sun in the sky is going to be in a challenging position, a square to Pluto. That's a 90-degree angle. People are going to have breakdowns and breakthroughs, right? It's just the normal part of life. So you need to pack your patience, avoid the temptation to force issues and push things and muscle your way in. That's not going to work around this time. The field is a little bit more irritable, restless, and discontent. It's bringing something up for healing, right? And we're all healed until we're triggered, right? As my teacher, mentor, friend, Lisa Williams says, right? We're all healed until we're triggered. So around this time, be aware of your triggers and go back to work on the inside, on the inner layers with spirit. Don't stop before the miracle happens, because the breakthrough is there. Just keep going, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Huge good money, luck, love, mojo is available on the 21st too. So I'm not kidding you when I say don't stop before the miracle happens. Good stuff, good cosmic juju is right behind that intensity. Okay, and just a few more things I want to point out for the month of October in your overview. On the 22nd, Mercury is going to enter Scorpio, October 22nd through November 9th. Mercury in Scorpio and then the sun will follow suit. So the sun will move into Scorpio October 23rd through November 22nd. Make sure you tell all your Libras and Scorpios happy birthday this month. I celebrate a Scorpio birthday on November 7th. Yay. Let's see, we've got, the last thing for the month of October. I want to make sure we discuss there's a partial lunar eclipse on the 28th. That means there's a full moon at 5 degrees of Taurus. If you know your chart, You can get extra information, insights, and enhance what this means for you. This is kind of a hybrid eclipse style because the lunation is happening in Taurus Scorpio, so the kind of the money, resources, power, access, while the nodes are in Aries, Libra. And so there's just this different activation going on. So that's why it's kind of a hybrid feeling, that partial lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Taurus. So if you have any planets that are in 5 degrees of Taurus, Scorpio, Aries, or Libra, this is going to feel more amplified for you. Your eclipse intention for the end of the month is love and light flow to me and through me, gently grounding me. Love and light flow to me and through me, gently grounding me. Some people are going to be coming unearthed. It's an earth sign. Some people are going to be finding buried treasures during this time. If you're in a detox process, go slow, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical intuitive. Something I do personally when I'm going through a detox cycle is charcoal tablets in the morning, lots of water throughout the day, and a tablet for release in the evening, or a tea, right? So go slow with those types of things. More is being revealed. There's a financial illumination going on for you in the sign of Taurus, right? Taurus rules our money, our food, what we need to feel earthy and grounded. You can be setting up intentions for anything that blocks your confidence and clarity to be totally removed and re-energized by the earth, recycled into the earth. So I think that's, this particular phase of the moon family cycle, it started back on April 30th of 2022. If you want to look back, it's having some information being revealed, things coming on earth, those buried treasures that we're finding, and calling them buried treasures lovingly. Okay. And then this whole moon phase cycle will complete in July 2028 of 2024. So there's a lot more going on in the weeklies. I hope you'll stay tuned for all of the little weekly segments I'm doing for the month of October. But before we go, I promised you a card. I'm pulling something from the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle deck, which I got in Lilydale. So this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. Can you see it? The Astral Realms deck. It's by Leah Schoman and Page. And so this card, may it bless all who are watching the October forecast for some extra insight, wisdom, and intuitive guidance. We get the card of healing, the spirit quartz, the planet Chiron. So asking for healing in big ways, right? Riding those waves up and down, navigating these beautiful waters, this incredible time to be alive. You know, your free will matters way more than the astrology forecast. So use your creative vision for healing, for yourself, for others. And I hope all is well with you, my friends. Namaste.